If you're searching for Transworld franchise reviews, you're probably not looking for a sales pitch. You're trying to answer a real question. Is Transworld Business Advisors worth evaluating as a business brokerage franchise? So this video is for someone like you that's seriously comparing business brokerage franchise options and trying to understand how Transworld holds up when evaluating the criteria that matters most for folks like you investing in a franchise. We're going to look at brand recognition, training, technology, territory, revenue potential, royalty structure, and the FDD, including the item 19. Transworld has over 40 years of experience in business brokerage. We have over 1,000 brokers and agents worldwide and more than 250 offices. So let's review the opportunity the way a serious buyer like you should. So before we get into Transworld specifically, let's be clear about what a good franchise review should actually do. It shouldn't just repeat the brand's strongest talking points. What it should do is give you a framework. Because when you're evaluating any business brokerage franchise, the real question is not, does this sound interesting? The question is, do I have enough information to make an educated decision? And to do that, it means you need to look at the business model, the support system, the brand's credibility, the economics of the investment, the territory, the technology, and gain a better understanding of the information disclosed in the franchise disclosure document. So this is not a yes or no review. It's really a way to think through the opportunity and decide whether or not Transworld Business Advisors belongs on your short list. Let's see if the business is right for you and if you're right for it. The first thing I would evaluate is brand recognition. See, in business brokerage, brand credibility matters because the client is not making a casual purchase. A business owner may be preparing to sell the company that they've just spent 20 or 30 years building. And for many owners, that sale may be the single largest financial transaction of their lifetime. So when you walk into that conversation, the name that is behind you matters. Transworld Business Advisors has been in the business brokerage space for more than 40 years. Our network includes more than 1,000 brokers and agents and more than 250 offices worldwide. That scale gives a franchise owner something really important. It gives them a brand. It gives you a brand that business owners can research, recognize, and take seriously. It does not replace the work of building the trust in your own local market. You still have to develop those relationships. You still will become known as the business owner's business owner. You're going to be known among the business owners, the accountants, the attorneys, the bankers, and the referral partners. But you are not entering the market with a name nobody recognizes. Instead, you're entering with a strong reputation and a track record in this space. So for a business that depends on trust, that is your meaningful advantage. The next thing I would look at is category leadership. See, Transworld has been ranked number one in the business brokerage franchise category on the Entrepreneur Franchise 500 every year since we began franchising. That matters because one award can be a good year, but a repeated category ranking tells you something completely different. That says that the model has remained visible, relevant, and competitive across all kinds of changing conditions. Does that mean you skip due diligence? No. Awards are not a substitute for reading the FDD, or speaking with franchisees, or understanding the investment and evaluating your own fit. But category leadership is a validation point. So if you're comparing business broker franchise options, Transworld's awards and rankings are part of your review. But they are not the whole decision, but they do certainly belong in your conversation. Training is one of the biggest things to evaluate because most people looking at a business brokerage franchise are not already business brokers. Now, you may be coming from finance, consulting, sales, operations, corporate leadership, real estate, banking, or even previous entrepreneurship. And your background matters because this is a professional advisory business. So business judgment, credibility, communication skills, and the ability to build trust with those buyers and sellers is really important. But business experience alone does not teach you how to sell a company. And that is why our training model matters. With Transworld Business Advisors, as a new franchisee, you attend 2 full weeks of in-person training at our United Franchise Group headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. And that on-site experience is the launch pad. It's important because you are not just watching videos or reading a manual on your own. You're learning the Transworld model directly, alongside other new owners, with leaders of our brand across operations, training, and marketing. The training is designed to introduce you to the core mechanics of our business. How do you approach a seller conversation? How do you think about business valuation? How do you prepare and package a business properly for sale? How do you protect the seller's confidentiality? How do you market that listing without exposing sensitive information too early? How do you qualify buyers? How do you manage expectations on both sides of the transaction? You can see there's a lot here. And how do you understand the steps that take a deal from first conversation all the way through to closing? That is the practical side of our training. But Transworld franchisees are not only learning basic business brokerage, they're also learning the broader Transworld model, including business brokerage and franchise consulting and franchise development and mergers and acquisitions. That matters because the client conversations often connect. See, a seller may want to exit a business, a buyer may want to acquire one, a corporate professional may be exploring franchise ownership, a successful owner may be thinking about franchising their concept as part of their expansion plan. Our training helps you as a new franchisee understand how those opportunities all fit together and how to recognize the right path for your client. A serious Transworld franchise review should ask whether the training gives someone with strong business experience a real foundation to enter the brokerage space. The value of the franchise model is not that it makes business brokerage easy. The value is that you are not trying to learn it alone. You are getting on-site training, a defined process, technology, tools, support, and access to a network of owners and brokers who've already worked through the same kind of situations that you are going to face. Technology? Well, that's another important part of your review. See, in business brokerage, you're managing relationships, listings, buyers, sellers, confidential information, deal flow, all the follow-up. And that requires more than just a simple spreadsheet or a contact list. So when you're evaluating Transworld, you're going to want to understand what technology systems are being provided to you, how your listings are managed, how your buyers are tracked, how confidential marketing works, and how the platform supports you managing the transaction process. You should also ask how technology supports collaboration across our very broad network. One of the potential advantages of being part of the largest business brokerage organization is that you are not operating as an isolated business broker. Our network matters. Buyers may be looking across different markets. Referral relationships can extend way beyond your territory. Other brokers may have knowledge or experience that supports one of your transactions. So when reviewing the Transworld Business Advisors franchise, technology should not be treated as a small detail. It is a major part of how your model operates. The next piece is territory, and this is where you or any prospect needs to slow down and ask very specific questions. What market is available? How is my territory defined? What protections are included? What exceptions exist? How many businesses are in my market? How many owners are approaching retirement age? And what's the local base of accountants, attorneys, lenders, and other referral partners and professionals? What types of businesses are common in my area? See, business brokerage is local, but is also relationship driven. So a strong market is not just a population count. It's really a market with business owners, buyers, professional resources, referral services, and enough local economic activity to support ownership, transitions, and transactions. This is where the FDD becomes important. Do not rely only on a map or a verbal explanation. Instead, review the territory language in your franchise disclosure document so that you understand what you are buying, what is protected, and what is not. Territory can affect how you build relationships, how you market, and how you think about your long-term opportunity. Now let's talk about revenue potential carefully. Anytime you're evaluating a franchise, especially a franchise like this with meaningful income potential, the right place to go is the FDD. For Transworld, request the FDD and review item 19, and that will give you validated financial performance data. You're going to want to understand the full range of outcomes, the assumptions behind the data, the mix of franchisees who are included, how long they've been operating, and what factors may influence their performance. You also need to understand your own role in the business. Are you building as a solo practitioner? Do you plan to hire agents and brokers? How strong is your local network? How comfortable are you with developing relationships? How long are you prepared to build before deal flow becomes really consistent? Business brokerage revenue is tied to transactions. That can create meaningful upside, but it can also mean timing can vary. Deals take time. Not every listing closes. Not every buyer moves forward. And that is why item 19 is so important. It gives you validated information to evaluate, but it should be reviewed in the proper context. The royalty structure is another area to review closely. This is not just about the percentage, which is made up of the shared client revenue between you and the franchisor. It is about the value you receive as a franchisee. What support is included? What technology do I get? What marketing resources are included? What training and continuing support are included? What national or network resources are available? The royalty details and any other fees are clearly laid out in your FDD, and you should review them carefully. For Transworld, the royalty structure should be reviewed alongside the much broader business model. You're not evaluating a retail franchise where the economics are tied to daily consumer transactions. You're evaluating a professional services and business brokerage model where revenue can come from business brokerage, franchise matching, franchise development, and M&A. So the question is not only what's my royalty percentage, the question is what value am I receiving from the systems, support, brand, and the infrastructure. One of the strongest parts of the Transworld model is that it is not built around only one revenue stream. There are actually four. Business brokerage, which is helping owners sell their companies and helping buyers acquire businesses. Franchise matching, helping people evaluate franchise ownership and connect with brands that fit their background, their goals, and their investment level. And franchise development, that's helping successful business owners explore whether franchising could be a path to growth. And then finally, M&A, supporting larger and more complex transactions through our Transworld network. That matters because many client conversations are connected. A business owner who sells may want to buy a franchise next. A buyer looking at acquisitions may realize franchise ownership is a better fit. A successful owner may not want to sell but may want to franchise their business. And a larger transaction, that might need M&A support. So when evaluating whether the Transworld franchise is worth it, you are not only evaluating a traditional business brokerage franchise, you're evaluating a broader advisory model built around 4 different revenue streams and business ownership decisions. Network scale, that's another important factor. Transworld has more than 1,000 agents and brokers and more than 250 offices worldwide. That scale matters for several reasons. It can support brand recognition. It will create referral opportunities. It can give franchisees like you access to people who have seen different types of deals, buyers, sellers, and market conditions. It can also help you as a new franchise owner feel less isolated than you might feel if you were just an independent broker. Business brokerage is a profession where experience and relationships matter. So every deal is different, every transaction can create new questions, and being part of the largest network on the planet does not guarantee success, but it certainly provides context, support, and credibility that an independent operator may have to build all by themselves. This is where a lot of franchise candidates need to be honest with themselves. See, business brokerage, it's not a passive investment. It's not a simple storefront operation. You're going to have to build relationships. You have to network. You have to earn trust. You have to be comfortable with longer sales cycles and serious business conversations. You have to be willing to learn valuation, buyer qualification, confidential marketing, negotiating, sales, and deal management. This can be a strong fit for business-minded professionals, for former executives, consultants, finance professionals, sales leaders, real estate professionals, and entrepreneurs. But it's not for someone who wants a low-involvement model with immediate, predictable transactions. A strong brand can still be the wrong opportunity for the wrong person. If you're looking for a business brokerage franchise with more than 40 years in the category, over 1,000 agents and brokers, more than 250 offices, with multiple revenue streams, validated financial performance data available through the FDD, then yes, Transworld Business Advisors should be at the top of your list. But the real answer, that comes from your due diligence. So review the FDD. Look closely at item 19. Understand your territory. Study the royalty structure and additional fees. Ask about training, technology, support, and our network. Talk to our franchisees. Be honest about whether you're suited for a relationship-driven advisory business. That is how you evaluate a business brokerage franchise seriously. So request your Transworld FDD at tworldfranchise.com/getstarted.